Can I fix this old jack? It's probably about 50 years old, maybe older. Guy brought it in, asked me to look at it, and I said I would take a look at it, but no guarantee. So today's the day if we can, that we'll find out if I can actually fix it. I'm Marv from Marv's Fixit shop. I've been dragging stuff home for over 50 years and seeing if I can get it fixed or make it run or bring it back to life. And today isn't any different. To fix an old jack like this, first thing you got to do is tear it apart and see what you got to work with. And obviously then you're going to have to get a rebuild kit. Well, I found this rebuild kit on Amazon, and I'll drop a link in the description showing you where I got this and what it is. So let's take this apart and try to match it up with some of the parts that require new O-rings and seals and see if we got the right stuff. First thing I'm going to open is, there's little ball bearings. Uh-oh, I dropped one already. I'm going to have to find that. I dropped one of these ball bearings on the floor. Before I go looking for another ball bearing, one that I dropped on the floor, I'm going to see if one of these is the right one. I only need one out of there. Okay, let's check this right here. And it's supposed to replace this broken one right there. That is supposed to go on the bottom side of this. Now what I have to do is figure out exactly which direction that goes. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay, this right here has an O-ring right there. And I want to take that O-ring off and match it up with one that I have in my kit here. And the way I'm going to do that is just take a knife and work under there and get it started and run it off. I'm going to set this stuff down. We'll get this and hold it up here. And that sure looks like the right one. I'm going to open it up and get that out of there. Pretty sure it's this one here. Let's put it on and see if it's the right one. So we've got this. Put that in there like that. And put it in there. The whole idea for this O-ring right there is to keep it from leaking out of the top of jack stand itself, so that fits in there and screws in place, back in place. That appears to be the right one. Now the other part to this is this seal right here. And I see that I have a seal right here. Let's get it out and take a look at it. I don't want to lose those blue things right there. Oops. I'm not sure what that's for, but we'll try to figure it out. Now let's see if this is the right seal. It looks like that would fit right in there, so we're going to go ahead and pry this old seal out. My first attempt, I'm going to use this tool right here and see if I can't get it out of there. Let's put this down here on the table. Nope. I think I'm going to have to set it in my vise and punch down on it. The way I'm going to do that is use a hammer and a punch and see if I can't punch it out of there. I might have to get a smaller punch, but if it wasn't ruined before, it is now. So let's take this back out, clean this all up right here. Take a shop rag and clean that all out. That looks good. Let's get the new seal and tap it in place. That's almost perfect. The old one was flush and top, the new one isn't. So the next thing I'm going to do is just see how this shaft slides in there and what it feels like. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to take this split ring off and put my new bottom seal on. I'm pretty certain it goes like this with the flare down because the pressure would come up and it'd have to catch that and spread out. To take that split ring off, I just have an inexpensive split ring pliers here. Let's see how it's going to work. My hopes is it's big enough to do the job. If I can see good enough to get in there. There she goes. Got the split ring off. I'll set all this right here. Hit this. Put it on. It's in place. Almost. There we have it. Let's put the split ring back on. Good as new. This right here looks like a little filter, but I don't see anything to replace that. So what I'm going to do is take my parts cleaner and clean that. Okay, that's clean. We'll set this to the side now, and we're going to get started on rebuilding this stuff right here. Update. That skinnier O-ring I had in here, I took it back out and put this thicker one in because it filled the groove up completely. The other one didn't quite, and I wasn't really satisfied with that. So I did put the bigger one on there. First thing I'm going to look at here is this plunger. It looks like it has a top seal here and some O-rings down in deeper, but I can't tell that for certain. There's definitely an O-ring in there. So let's see if I can't get this seal out, but before I do, let's make sure I have another one, which I wondered what this blue thing was for, and I'm pretty certain it's the seal that goes there, but not positive. So I'm going to set that to the side. There's another one in a package that I want to get out just to double check. In looking at this second one, it definitely looks better than the first one. So we're going to say it's this one, but to know for sure, let's see how it slides over this shaft. And that slides on there perfectly. So what I'm going to do is see if I can't get this one out. As I work on this, I'm reminded of when I was a kid and I dragging stuff like this home and the excitement of getting it going again and the fear of breaking something that I couldn't replace. And I kind of have that fear right now, taking these seals out, especially not knowing for sure. If I had a seal puller, I guess that would be easier, but I don't. So we'll do the best next thing. And that is seeing if we can't, hey, that started a little, and get her out of there. It was difficult, but I did get it out. Here's the old one. It is metal, but it popped right out of there after I got a hold of it correctly. Wasn't too bad. Here's the O-ring that came out. And here's another ring that was in there on top of the O-ring. So I matched this up with this. So I know that goes back in there, but let's see if I can find a correct O-ring for this now. Looking here in the package, it's a big fat one, and there's only one in here that is remotely close, and it's a perfect match. So what I'm going to do is get my my parts cleaner, and I'm going to spray this all out, make sure all the debris or dirt is out of there. And then I'm going to turn it upside down. There's 2 holes in there, but I do not see any ball bearings that would have come out of there. You see something down in the bottom of that. It's, oh, that's still a little bit of dirt. I'm going to do that one more time, but like this. Oh yeah. Now, the O-ring goes in first, so let's try to get that in. Shouldn't be too difficult. And it pops right in. Now let's push it down just a little bit. Oh yeah, perfect. Get it down in place, and we'll put the little white thing in. By the way, this is split right there, so it should go in fairly easy. Popped right in. Let's double check our plunger. Should have enough lubricant on that the way it is. We're getting it in. Maybe we will need to go to the other one. Nope. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It goes in a little hard. I'll put a little bit of heavy grease on that, or oil, just before I finish putting it together. Now we're going to put our seal on. This little seal will go right in there, and let's see if I can find a socket to push that down in there. Now let's take this and just tap it in. Going in just a little crooked. I don't like that at all. There she went. Down, seat it nicely. Okay. Put just a little bit of oil on here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, now I'm going to take this off because it's in the way of that right there. We'll set that there. Now we're going to see what we have under here. I don't remember. There's an O-ring in there and a little ball bearing. Oh, there's so many O-rings in this pack. I sure hope I can find one that resembles this one. It's a little fat. Perfect. There's another one of them little white rings in here. Let's see if I can't get it out. That isn't split. So I wonder if one of these rubber rings replaces that. I bet it does. And there's a top and a bottom to that rubber ring. So pretty sure this goes in first. and then this goes in second. And I'm not going to take that ball bearing out of there because there's nothing wrong with that. Yep, went right back down into place. Now let's look at this right here and see what we have there. It's another rubber O-ring right there, a little thicker. And then there's something down in there. What is that? Oh yeah, there she comes. That's that. And now we need a screwdriver. That'll go down in there and pull that screw out. And let's see what we have. Oh yeah, there's that spring. And that looks like that's it. So I don't see any rubber parts in there, so we'll put this back together. And all this is a little rubber cap to help seal that. I really don't see anything in my kit to replace that. So all I'm going to do then is put this back on because I don't think there's oil that comes to this. It's just a pressure on a valve in there, looks like. I'll screw this back down into place. Okay, our last one. We've got a little ring here, brass. Okay, that's that. Then we've got a piece of steel. And another brass ring and a ball bearing down in there. Okay, let's take a look. There's 2 brass rings in this kit. Let's get them out of there and see what we have. They're basically identical, so we won't worry about it. Okay, we got this all back together here. Now let's see if we can't get our plunger in. Looks like it's going to go in just fine, but I want to give it a little bit of oil on there before I put it in there. A little bit of oil around there and a little bit of oil in here. That O-ring is really tight. I gotta get my big wrench. Let's see if this will turn down. That's tight enough. Well, I have this jack put back together. Should I test it somehow before I put it and get it all back together just to discover I missed something? I think it's fixed. We're going to go for it. I'm going to reassemble it the same way I disassembled it. So we're going to turn the jack over on its side. Got all those ball bearings still floating around on here that I didn't have to use. Okay, I've got the jack worked in there, but I'm far from being home with it. Got to get this Carter key in there again. There she goes. I'm not sure what's holding it. Oh, I see. It's got to come this way. Okay, I think I'm ready to flop it over again and work on it from this side like I did originally. Let me get this long bolt started here so I don't lose this end. There's that. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, let's just go at it and put this foot on right away so we don't have to concern ourselves We'll get these on again. And then that jack itself won't fall out of there. Oh. See if I can get that same wrench. Yep, it'll go right on there. Whoop. Say whoop. Let's see if we can't get it started. Hey, now we're talking. I got them all started finally, so let's get them tightened up. Have you ever heard of the Wright Wrench Company? W-R-I-G-H-T. That's what this is. I was 16. How many years ago is that? 54 and 6 is 60, and then another decade, 70, yeah, 54 years ago. And I'm still using it. I wonder how many spark plugs I took out with that as a kid. That's amazing. Didn't even realize I had that one. Should grab all my sockets. I know I don't have them all anymore because I broke a couple of them. But I'm going to get a different socket. I don't want to break this one. Well, I got that thing back together, and I'm about to put the oil in it. I had a little trouble with a couple of little things, nothing major, but I was able to get the thing back in, all the bolts in. I do have to tighten the wheel bolts up a little bit, but I'm anxious to see if it's going to work. So let's put some oil in that thing. And you probably can't see the hole, but it's right there. So what I'm going to do is cut the tip off of this and see if we can't get something in there. The idea is to fill it up till it runs out of that hole. It is a good old jack though, so I guess that's one thing. Well, the jack seems to work. It's going up and down. And if I turn the handle, it will go down. But it goes down slowly. But it is going down. So that's a good thing. Now what I need to do is get it over there in that pickup truck and see how it works. Oh boy, the truck must be heavy. Off the ground. I think on both sides. Both sides are off the ground. Now let's see if it comes down on its own. Oh yeah, perfect. That jack is working. It appears to be working fine, but I'm going to let it set a couple of days and then try it again. I'm happy with the way it turned out. It took me a lot longer to do than I ever thought it would. If you ever want to try something like this, don't be afraid to do it. If you have any comments, or if you're an expert and you know exactly what I did wrong, or if I should have done something different, please let me know. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it. If you like videos like this, watch these right here. Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can fix it. Until the next one.